The heaviest things in life aren't iron and gold, but unmade decisions. The reason you are stressed is that you have decisions to make and you're not making them.
A noble mentality is, you know, f your tired body, f that unmotivated mind, and get out there and do it anyway. You know, you better fight yourself, because you're not only winning when things are going your way. You got to figure out how to win when things aren't going your way. You got to figure out when your body's fighting you, when your mind's fighting you. How do you still, you know, just say, I'm gonna beat my mind today? Or do you just give in to your mind and say, oh, I'm tired today, I'm lazy, I don't want to do it, it's too hard, no one else is doing it, it's a weekend, it's too late, these are already off hours, oh, exactly what I want isn't happening right now. Like, okay, great. You know who that's great for? Your competition. You want that attitude to permeate the people that you're competing against. You want them to give in to their mind. You want them to say, oh, it's too hard, I can't do it. But you want to be the one that says, I'm going to do it anyway. I know I don't feel good today, but I'm going to go out there and I'm going to prove to myself that even on days that it doesn't feel right, I push myself. The only way to gain confidence in yourself is to build something.
You have to be crazy enough to think that it's possible. That's how you fucking do something worthwhile. That's how you beat the fucking odds. You have to believe it's possible, okay? And when you believe something is possible, everything else will figure itself out. So that's step one, right? Yeah, you want to achieve something, you want to become successful, right? Realize that everyone's opinions doesn't matter in the slightest, bro. Doesn't matter in the slightest. And rewrite your contract with reality, bro, and realize that a lot of the shit, if I would have listened, bro, to half of the people, bro, the principal, the coaches, the teachers, bro, that limited me in any sense, I wouldn't be this guy today. And the only reason why I'm this guy is because my opinion of myself mattered more than any external opinion ever.
I tell the same thing to anybody, no matter what your field is, if you really want it that bad, you'll make it happen. You know, if you could put aside the distractions, the Instagram, TV, some charity event that there's gonna be girls there, and you're like, no, I'm gonna go to sleep early today, wake up and do what I gotta do. It just plans out over a period of time, I think, you know?
I fought for it because no one gave it to me, because it was just me alone in the gym, me alone in the mirror, me alone in my head. No one did it for me. I worked for it, and I'm never gonna let someone else take that from me.
I will go to the start line of a race, like Badwater, the 135-mile race to Death Valley. And there's videos of me out there. You will see black compression tape on my ankles. I had broken feet at the start line of a 135-mile race. If you go back, you will see as I'm finishing the race, you will see this black compression tape floating behind me. I went to the start line of that race. I trained for that race with broken feet.
If you don't fail, you're not even trying. I'll say it again. If you don't fail, you're not even trying. My wife told me this great expression. To get something you never had, you have to do something you never did.
I think most people have the potential to be exceptional because most people are peculiar in their own way. They just stifle that because they want to be accepted by most people, but in so doing, never accomplish what they want to do because they conform.
I built this shit! Me! Brick by brick!
There's moments where you don't want to fucking do this, which is why it's so interesting, because you do it. You do it without any reservation. You just go through it. But you always talk about, I don't want to fucking do this shit, but you always do it.
That's it.
Winners, the difference between them and the spectators is the winners have a belief that overrides the crowd's disbelief every single time.
It's dangerous to dwell on past mistakes, because people sort of define themselves by the worst moments that they've ever had. And if that's the case, like some people are stuck in high school. You know, they're stuck in failures that they had like when they were first getting jobs, and they always think that they're a loser, and they don't like the feeling of failure, so they keep low expectations so that they never have to feel that. You gotta get through it. You gotta get through bad feelings. You gotta get through failure. It's very important, and you get through it by just picking yourself back up and moving forward and going.
When no one's watching, I work harder than when they're watching. No one's watching, which means now you have to work, because otherwise you're full of shit.
It gets easier.
Huh?
Every day it gets a little easier.
Yeah?
But you gotta do it every day. That's the hard part. But it does get easier.
If you want to be exceptional, you're going to be different from everyone else. That's what makes you exceptional. You can't fit in and also be exceptional. Both have discomfort. When you fit in, you have internal conflict because you're not being 100% you. When you're exceptional, you have external conflict because everyone sees you as different. Pick one.
If you have an idea that you genuinely think is good, don't let some idiot talk you out of it. If there is something that you feel is good, something you want to do, something that means something to you, try to do it. Because I think you can only do your best work if you're doing what you want to do, and if you're doing it the way you think it should be done. And if you can take pride in it after you've done it, no matter what it is, if you can look at it and say, I did that, and I think it's pretty damn good. That's a great feeling. So don't let idiots talk you out of something that you think is good.
Champions aren't found on the podium with their hand up. No. Champions are found in lab studies. The thousands of hours of hard work when no one's watching. That's what makes the will unstoppable. When you're in here and no one else is, and you're pushing yourself harder than anybody with no one around.
And every day you wake up, it sucks. And when it's over, you feel better. It sucks, you feel better. Every step you take in that journey, for me, I run every day. I fucking hate it. But every step I take, I'm like, all right, motherfucker, you're beating the demon again.
You achieve failure. Failure has been achieved, thank God. Now, the only place to go from failure is to win. You have to achieve failure. You have to take it that far. Nobody wants to go that far. It's too scary. But you know something? I got news for you. That's where winning is. It always has been. Nothing's changed since the 70s. Nothing. Except people train not as hard.
If you want revenge for the bad things that have happened in your life, start with the version of you that hasn't lived up to your potential. When your friends start to say, you've changed, remember it's because they don't know how to say, you've grown.
My philosophy is, why be normal when you can be the best? I don't want to be normal. I want to make the difference. So everything I do, I want to make the difference. Because when I make the difference, I'm the best. And that is not arrogance, that is confidence for me.
The spectators have tried it and failed it and remain sitting down. They don't get up anymore because they don't believe it enough.
Yeah. I don't care how good you are in anything. You don't have discipline, you ain't nobody.
Right.
You're nothing without discipline because you give up under the slightest struggle without discipline.
100%.
Where are you gonna end up if you quit this shit? Where are you gonna go? What are you gonna say to yourself? You're not done yet, motherfucker. Get back to fucking work. It's time to get back to work. Stop hearing yourself talk. Get off the podcast. Don't be on social media too much. Cut out all the fucking noise. Get back to the fucking mental lab.
I was gonna rip his heart out. I'm the best ever. I'm the most brutal and vicious and most ruthless champion there's ever been. There's no one can stop me. Lennox is a conqueror. No, I'm Alexander. He's no Alexander. I'm the best ever. There's never been anybody as ruthless. I'm Sonny Liston. I'm Jack Dempsey. There's no one like me. I'm from Nairclaw. There's no one that can match me. My style is impetuous. My defense is impregnable. And I'm just ferocious. I want your heart. I want to eat his children. Praise be to Allah.
Winners fail 1,000,000 times. What makes them a winner is that they believe in it, they're headstrong. Nothing's gonna stop them.
Hey. Don't ever let somebody tell you you can't do something. Not even me. All right?
All right.
You got a dream, you gotta protect it. People can't do something themselves. They want to tell you you can't do it. You want something, go get it. Period.
Let me teach you the real life, how it really is. The reason why you're a loser, the reason why you're not fucking making it, you're lazy, you know exactly what to do. It just sucks doing it. It sucks to do it.
So what would you say the biggest deception was? What was the biggest lie you were told?
It's not that simple.
Why not?
No, that's the biggest lie. It's not that simple. And it's a lie they tell you over and over again.
What's not simple?
Any of it. All of it. It's how they get you to give up. They say it's not that simple, Vinny.
So what's the truth?
That it is. If you just do the thing that they tell you you can't, then it's done. And you realize it is that simple.
I'm astounded by how many people want to be spectacular in life but also want to be normal. By being normal, you are, by definition, aiming for average. Normal people get normal results. Exceptional people get exceptional results. You literally can't do what everyone else does and expect to not get what everyone else has got. By doing what everyone else does, you guarantee average results.
It sucks. Everything I do in life, it sucks. I feel sorry for no one. It sucks. But you have a choice to make. Do you want to sit down and go back to that guy you once were? No. So this is what it takes.
Everything that you thought had meaning, every hope, dream, or moment of happiness, none of it matters as you lie bleeding out on the battlefield. None of it changes what a speeding rock does to a body. We all die. But does that mean our lives are meaningless? Does that mean that there was no point in our being born? Would you say that of our slain comrades? What about their lives? Were they meaningless? They were not! Their memory serves as an example to us all! The courageous fallen, the anguished fallen, their lives have meaning because we, the living, refuse to forget them! And as we ride to certain death, we trust our successors to do the same for us! Because my soldiers do not buckle or yield when faced with the cruelty of this world! My soldiers push forward! My soldiers scream out! My soldiers rage!
It's about a donkey who is thirsty and hungry, and there's water on one side, a few feet away, and hay on the other. And he can't decide whether to do the hay first, or the water. The hay or the water, and he dies of thirst at the end of it. He couldn't do them sequentially. So this is Derek's recommendation to his younger self, and really to any 20 or 30 something, but it applies to everybody, which is, in effect, you can do almost everything you want in life, but you can't do it at the same time. And if you can just dedicate yourself to one thing for even a year, and then the next thing for a year, you can do those 10 things. But if you try to do all 10 at once, you're gonna be Burden's ass. You're like, should I do this? Should I do this? Or should I focus on this? Or should I focus on this? So don't be a dog.
Yeah, I mean, you got to be a little delusional, bro. Not for nothing. You really got to be so delusional in yourself. Nobody's gonna believe in you like you believe in you. You don't understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So you really got to sit there and you know, I believe in that manifestation stuff, bro. You know what I'm saying? Visualizing it, seeing it, and then making it happen. I'm a visual learner. I'm a visual designer per se. You know what I'm saying? You really need to be delusional when it comes to shit like that. Yeah. I think, anyway.
You see the best of the best, bro.
Yeah.
Every single creator, what do they say that they've done? They've manifested their life.
Reminder for anyone internally debating weekend plans. If you don't want to go, don't go. If they care whether you go or not, they don't care about you. And if they care about you, they don't care if you go or not. Just because you have free time doesn't mean anyone who asks for it is entitled to it.
You think when you're young that you have all this time. You have no time. There's no time. I mean, one of the quotes on the wall in the gym in there is, you know, there is no tomorrow, from Rocky 3. You know, there is no tomorrow. Fuck that shit. Let's get all this shit done today.
Be a dangerous man. Now, being dangerous is not being a threat. They're two different things. All right? And it's not about going out and lifting weights and getting a bunch of tattoos and wearing leather jackets and walking around with your chest and shoulders up, hulking around saying, I'm dangerous. That's very rarely is that a dangerous man. Often the most dangerous man in the room is the quietest man in the room.
Do you want to be a bitch today? Do you want to feel like a little bitch? Do you want to walk around all day knowing that you could, but you didn't?
Live your life like you're the hero in your movie. And right now is when the fucking movie starts and your life is a shitbag disaster. You're in the part of the movie that starts and it shows you as a fucking loser. And just decide not to be a loser anymore. Live your life like there's a documentary crew following you around and you are analyzing your own behavior. Do what you would want to do so that your kids one day would look back at it and see that documentary and look on it with pride. Like, wow, my dad was a bad motherfucker. He really did what he had to do. Wow, my mom really got her shit together. I love a success story, but even more than a success story, I like a dude who fucks his life up and then gets it back together again story.
It'd be too cool for us now. I know it hurts. I know it hurts. That is the lead indicator, not even the lagging indicator. That is the lead indicator that you are doing the right thing. And lots of people listen to this podcast. I get messages from people like, hey man, I'm a 22-year-old rugby player from the northwest of the UK. I live in Cumbria. None of my friends understand me. I want to do personal growth. I don't want to live in the UK. And when I listen to Modern Wisdom, I feel less alone. And it makes me tear up.
I can't fight him. He has all my weapons. I have nothing. When you began your journey, you were determined. Nothing could stop you. And now that you are so close, are you willing to give up so easily? It was easier at the beginning. Beginnings are often easier. But think of all that you have accomplished along your journey.
Do whatever you're gonna do, but you're not going to bully me. You're not going to stop me because my mother made me believe in myself. No matter how many people tell me, stop believing in yourself. Stop saying what you can do. Stop affirming what you're gonna do and then completing that in real life. That's the improper way to do it. I refuse to follow those rules that society has set up in the way that they control people with low self-esteem, with improper information, with branding, with marketing. I refuse to follow those rules. It's about truth, it's about information, it's about awesomeness, and the only luxury is time. The time you spend with your family. That's the only luxury.
I did 6 months in the McDonald's drive-thru. I worked 3 years in a pret-a-manger store in Luton Airport making sandwiches. And it's those jobs, the real selling your time for money hour by hour, that teaches you the value of things. Even now, I jokingly laugh with Andrew when I buy things. I don't know what the numbers are, but I'll calculate like how many hours would I have had to work in that job to buy, say, the Bugatti. And it's something crazy like 310 years of constantly working at that sandwich shop. No hours off, no days off. So yeah, so we're talking at like 4 human lifetimes.
I'm stopping this one now.
Don't, okay, let me finish. I gotta prove it.
Prove what?
I'm not a mistake.
If you're going to try, go all the way. Otherwise, don't even start. If you're going to try, go all the way. This could mean losing girlfriends, wives, relatives, jobs, and maybe your mind.
Hard times create hard men. Hard men create soft times. Soft times create soft men. Soft men create hard times.
Why not you? You've got the brains. You can make decisions. You can study the plan. You can change your life. You can grow immensely in the next few years. You can make your dreams come true. You can build a financial wall around your family nothing can get through. You can become healthy. You can become powerful. Why not you?
Maybe I should just quit and go back to making noodles.
Quit, don't quit. Noodles, don't noodles. You are too concerned with what was and what will be. There's a saying, yesterday is history. Tomorrow is a mystery, but today is a gift. That is why it is called the present.
Do you know, man, that you can actually mess your life completely up? You can jack it all the way up, and you can turn around and get it right. Do you know that you can be divorced multiple times and still be okay? You may not see it now, but when he gets you on the other side of it, you're gonna see exactly why it went that way. And you're gonna be okay with it. But quit tripping during the process. Oh Lord, why me? You ain't the only one. Oh Lord, why I lose my job? You ain't the only one unemployed. Oh Lord, why he leave me? You ain't the first chick got left. This might not even be your last time getting left. pull yourself together and quit tripping because you in the process. God is processing you. He ain't through with you. If he was through with you, you would not wake up in the morning.
The key in life is to lie to yourself about reality. Smile through everything. All the bad things, well, you just pile them away in a place that will come back one day in the form of, I don't know, rage? But everything's fine.
We've run many businesses that did well for a little bit, then failed. We've tried to launch projects using the last of our money. We tried to bring various drinks we like from Eastern Europe to sell in UK supermarkets, set up meetings, invested all of our last money in this project. Everyone told us no, failed. We had this idea once to set up a system where people could run, remember those competitions, or win a vacation, text this to this number. We tried to middleman that and allow other people to run text competitions on a premium rate phone line that we set up. And we set it up and tried to market it, lost all of our money. Once again, we were broke eating ramen noodles. So we've tried everything. I mean, we've done all sorts of failed and successful businesses over the years. And I think it was just persistence that got us there. A lot of people are gonna get, kicked in the nuts and take a fall, and they're gonna let it beat them down. Andrew's lost very important kickboxing matches. Did he quit fighting then? Did I quit fighting when I got my ass kicked a couple times? No, you don't.
But the one thing that I can always say that I was very lucky is I always knew what I wanted to do. I think if you look at most people right now, like if you went to any college campus anywhere in the world and asked these kids, what's your major and what do you want to do for the rest of your life? They'd be like, well, I'm taking political science, but I think I'm going to switch to this and that. They don't know. They're going to college because they were told that if they didn't go to college, they'd never get a good job, they'd never get this, they'd never get that. So these kids come out of college with an education that most of them don't use. If you know what you want to do, you wake up every day and you work toward that goal. It's so much easier when you know what you want.
I scarred you for life.
See, that's the thing, Shen. Scars heal.
No, they don't. Wounds heal.
Oh yeah, what do scars do? They fade, I guess?
I don't care what scars do.
You should, Shen. You gotta let go of that stuff from the past, because it just doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is what you choose to be now.
You're right.
Almost every single stat you have in life, you never stagnate. You're always deteriorating. You never get fit enough to think, okay, that's it. And if you stop training, you stay the same. If you're not growing, you're shrinking. Everything is always deteriorating. You forget things day to day if you don't top your knowledge up. It all deteriorates if you don't work on it. So you have to keep that in mind, because any kind of complacency, any kind of laziness, it's gonna come back and bite you.
I want to hear shit from you talking about you being broke. If you're not working in 60 hours minimum a week that you're getting paid for, turn off YouTube, Instagram, whatever, and get your ass out there. Go down there and work at McDonald's, Circle K, get you a job. I don't care about your pride. You can't be proud and broke at the same time. Go work, and work, and then you take that money you make from your part-time job, invest some of it, invest most, and take half of it, invest it to your future. The other 50%, the other percentage, take some, have some fun, go buy your belt, then invest it in self-improvement. Get you a high-income skill. Get you something that's going to give you high-value skills that you can market on, that you can leverage on the marketplace. Whether you're working in corporate America or whether you're going to be doing your own entrepreneurial thing in the future. But men, if you're working, the harder you work, the luckier you get, the more exposure you get. And it's about hard work and speed.
So what? He's scared of love?
Everyone's scared of love, dipshit. You learn that in your 20s. It takes a very rare, very powerful being to be terrified of happiness.
Dumb.
You're dumb. That's why you're not scared to be happy. The smarter you are, the more you know. Happiness is a trap. It can't last forever. Let's say you meet the love of your life. Well, it's still gonna end. It's inevitable, whether by the slow pull of a disease or the shock of loose footing on a hiking trail, whether it be the corrosion of two personalities that reshape each other until they're incompatible, or maybe the old stranger in a bar who says the things that need to be said to that person that night. The point is, happiness always ends. Best case scenario, think about this. Best case is that you die at the same time.
Gotta be like, even my friends, you know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta have something in you. Like, yo, we got the same mentality, like we got the same goal, or else Like, I'm not going, for me, if this what you want in life and it's not what I want, I'm not going to fault you for it, but we're not going to be around every day if we're not getting the same goal together.
Have you ever thought that I want more from life than a nice apartment and a job serving tea?
There's nothing wrong with a life of peace and prosperity. I suggest you think about what it is that you want from your life and why.
I want my destiny.
What that means is up to you.
So many people never achieve their goals because they have too many toxic, negative, energy-draining people in their lives. And you have to have goals outside of your comfort zone that will challenge you, because in order to do something you've never done, you've got to become someone you've never been. And you got to have a mentor who's experienced, who's been there, done that. And as a result of that relationship, because you can't see the picture when you're in the frame, Muhammad Ali said, I'm the greatest, but he never won a championship without Angelo Dundee. And Michael Jordan never won a championship without Phil Jackson. So you've got to have someone that can see something in you that you can't see, that can take you to a place within yourself that you can't go by yourself, because you're going to fail your way to success. You're going to get slapped around by life. And don't spend time complaining about it and telling everybody 80% don't care and 20% glad it's you.
It gets easier.
Huh?
Every day it gets a little easier.
Yeah?
But you gotta do it every day. That's the hard part. But it does get easier.
Okay.
Let your hustle and your actions speak for you. This is the only way you really could prove who the real hustlers are. Not who make the biggest hit record of the summer, not who got the biggest buzz, and not who got the best stylist. We gonna look back a decade from now and see who got the most money, who made the most moves, who made the most millionaires, who put the most people in power, who really getting paper. That's what we gonna see, and you can't talk your way into that.
I've always given people a hard time who claim they don't have time to be in shape. If they're big and fat and they're like, oh, I don't have time to go to the gym. First of all, everyone has time enough to eat less, because it actually requires less time. So that's a cop-out as it is. But a line that my coach used to say when I was training at Storm Gym, when people say, oh, I don't have dumbbells at home, I don't have a punch bag at home. He always used to say, if you're determined enough, you could get in the best shape that you could possibly get in an empty room by yourself. And when I was in jail, that came back to me in my mind. I was just like, well, I can get in amazing shape in an empty room by myself. How determined are you? It's not fun down on that dirty floor doing those push-ups with roaches crawling by your face as you're going down and up. It's not fun, you know, doing sit-ups with a towel on your back on a concrete floor instead of a mat. It isn't fun sitting there doing squats, looking at the TV, you know, sweating and then having to take one of those horrible showers. But you have to do what you have to do.
We need models. We need heroes. And
dreams without goals are just dreams.
Come on.
And ultimately, they fuel disappointment.
Exactly.
On the road to achieving your dreams, you must apply. This all comes from Pastor Bernard. I just stole it.
It sounds familiar.
It sounds familiar. You must apply discipline, but more importantly, consistency. Because without commitment, you'll never start. But without consistency, you'll never finish. These are all things I learned from you.
Excuses, excuses. How am I supposed to trust you when all you give me are excuses? When are you two gonna learn that your actions have consequences? Consequences that affect other people, like me. Don't you two understand? I'm about to lose my job. You may not care about keeping your jobs, but I care about keeping mine. Because if I lose my job, I have nothing. Do you hear me?
In life, there are only winners and losers. There are no participation trophies. There's no, you know, stickers and everyone's invited to have a good time. You know, life is hard. And everyone in life is actually trying to play the same game. If you're a sportsman, you like racquetball, I've heard, for example.
Yeah.
There's a small pool of people who play racquetball. And you have to compete within that pool to be the best, and maybe you become the world champion. There's a small pool of people who compete at kickboxing, professional soccer, and the bigger the pool is, the more difficult it is. Well, life is the only game where every single one of us 8.1 billion people is trying to play the exact same game. And the same game is, there's only so much money in the world, There's only so many resources. There's only so much happiness. I'm going to try to provide for my family as best as I can. And whether people say money's not important or is important, everyone's part of this game. So winning is very difficult.